See this right here? This is a very small crankbait. This is a finesse crankbait. And that's exactly what today's video is going to be based around. This area has a ton of huge bass, or at least it did. Now it's infested with carp. I still think that there's a few big ones left in here. So we're just going to play it light, play it, you know, really small with small tackle, small rods, light line. I do have one heavier rod set up with a Texas rigged worm, but it's a finesse style worm. I want to see if we can't catch a fish doing this, because fishing with everything else, bigger baits, has been extremely difficult, and we haven't really caught fish doing it. So we're gonna give this a shot. We're gonna give it a full send. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, we're gonna start off with this really light, weird crankbait. This is a chartreuse color crankbait too, because this water is dirty. It's very dirty, and chartreuse shows up really well, and I've had good luck with it here. This is an ultralight. Well, it's not an ultralight setup, but it's pretty light. This is a medium moderate 6'6" rod, KastKing Mela 2, and some I think it's 8-pound line. So we're gonna get up on this sketchy thing somehow and try to catch a fish out of this little canal. This is like super sketchy. There's a fish trying to eat those shad there off to my left, or right. I don't think you guys can see it. Okay. Well, I just turned the camera off, and now we have a fish. Oh, it's not a bad one either. Okay. All right. I don't know what to do here. That's a good fish. That's a real good fish. Sabrina, I don't know what to do. I have a good-sized bass. This isn't good. I'll be back whenever we figure this out. All right, that was a bit of a cluster. I'm sorry I didn't film that. I actually had to raise this fish up with this light line, and it was very sketchy, but there's a solid 2.5, 3-pound fish. I'm pretty happy with that. He's got a huge mouth on him. Completely annihilated this bait. That's sick. This little canal. Shad spawn going on right there. Awesome. It's not a bad fish to start the day with. Not huge, but he's pretty good size. That little finesse crankbait right there that's all wrapped up in my stuff really did the trick. Especially on these hot days, whenever they don't want to chase something big, you can use something like that that's really small and fish it slow and catch those really lethargic fish. I was really hoping this would be a challenge, but whenever you catch a pretty good sized fish on your third cast, then I guess the challenge is complete, and now I'm just trying to catch a giant, I guess. There's one. Oh, it's a baby.
It's a baby.
It's a baby. It's so cute.
I'm a baby.
That's 2 for this ugly yellow crankbait. Yeah. It's about as graceful as it gets. So the challenge was going to be to catch a fish on that crank and one on this Texas rig kind of finesse worm. The one with the crank was pretty easy. I managed to do it in 3 casts. The one with the worm isn't going so well. I've just lost my 3rd fish on it. I'm not sure exactly why, but they seem to like it more, I guess. They're eating it better. I figured they'd like the worm more since it's like the middle of the day too. Usually fish don't like to chase whenever it's hot, and it is definitely hot right now. In fact, we have a heat warning out, which, yeah. Well, I'd show you how the worm thing went, but if you can't tell, I'm already throwing the crank again, so we're just gonna leave that untold. Little crankbait it is. Little chartreuse crank. This thing is so ugly. I bought another color one. I haven't thrown it yet, but they seem to be eating this one. Like I said, it seems to work. I don't know what this is. It's big. Oh, baby. This is big. I don't know what it is. I hope it's a bass. Please be a bass. Oh God. Oh God. Well. Alrighty. Well, that's not how you do that. You guys good? Yeah, you're good. Yeah, I fell. And that's a drum. Huh. Well. I'm all about fish care, but I kind of messed that one up. There's a drum. That sounded painful.
Ouch.
I'm sorry, dude. That's not how you do that. All right, guys, that's the end of this one. It was pretty much a success, I think. Even though the original idea was to catch fish on the crankbaits, and then I added in the worms. The worms is what messed me up. So it's a 50-50 success. And we caught a pretty good fish and a couple little ones. Could not connect with that worm though. Couldn't get a fish to bite that at all, which I'm very surprised considering it was the middle of the day. It was hot, but I guess it worked. Those are probably reaction strikes, I would assume. And that's kind of what I was going for with the whole crankbait thing. The little bitty ones, whenever they see something like that go past them, they can't really ignore it. They gotta eat it.
Right.
Just like whenever I take her to a buffet, she's just gotta eat everything. Just kidding. That train's still going by. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you kind of learned something there. Small crankbaits really do work, especially in situations when the fish don't want to bite. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. There's a ton of you guys now, and I'm very honored to have you. Yeah, that's pretty much for this video. I'll see you guys right here next time.